Ramsey here. Welcome to another live stream. What is anyone doing here? It's Valentine's Day. The heck is wrong with you guys? I'm married. I don't count. So, but what are you guys doing here? Good to see you, Margie. They're busy watching Red Lessons' latest videos. It's good to see you guys, man. And Margie. My wife was like, well, I'm out. I'm going to bed. You guys, you go do your stream. I was like, all right. It's Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day was yesterday for us. That's right. Yes. What'd you guys wear? I wore Frederic Malle Vetiver Extraordinaire today, which is like the coldest scent you could ever imagine on a Valentine's Day. It's like a bitter cold vetiver. I really enjoyed it, actually. Someone sent me a very nice decant, so I love exploring, and we're going to do some more exploring today. So I didn't want to explore without you guys, so I figured, what the hey? There's got to be a couple folks lying around on Valentine's night that would want to join me in some fragrance-related material, because we're going to explore a new house, actually a house that I've known about. I've just never smelled anything from them, zero. And this is actually one of my favorite times, you know, when you smell something from a house for the very first time. I have 3 samples today from the house of DS and Durga. And I love kind of exploring a house like this for the very first time, because you kind of get an impression of what the house is like, what the materials are like, what the style is like, you know, stylistically, how they work, you know, how they wear, the feelings of whether they really put time and thought into the compositions or whether they just kind of threw something together. So let's see what everyone's wearing. Drop your scent of the day in the comments. Yes, that's right. Up in here. Happy Valentine's Day indeed, Margie. Classic Diaghilev tonight. I love it. Absolutely love it. Sometimes I can't wait to get back to wearing some of my favorites like that. And sometimes I absolutely love testing out new stuff. So I'm in this weird spot in my journey where I'm really enjoying testing out all the samples and stuff that I've never smelled before people are sending me. But on the other hand, I'm like, damn, I wish I was just wearing Diaghilev right now. Or Boundless for Valentine's. Nice. Do you like that, Woozy? I can't remember. Well, I cheated a little bit because I was not expecting to do a stream today. I was expecting it to be a streamless day or a streamless night. And so since I wore Vetiver Extraordinaire and I did a video on it today, I did like an early impression video on it. I decided, you know what? Let me put some real Rue Huss oil on one of my pulse points. And so I had done this once before, and I just wanted to kind of experience it again with the Vetiver Extraordinaire. And I'll tell you what, the Rue Huss is so strong that after smelling it, you can almost not smell Vetiver Extraordinaire at all. It just, I mean, I still can now, but especially originally when I first put it on, my God, it's nuclear. It smells like, if you guys have never smelled Rue Huss, like the real deal Indian Attar, it smells like someone took vetiver and put it on a grill and grilled it, and they grilled vetiver, you know, and like served it to you as a meal. That's kind of what Rue Huss smells like. You can tell it's definitely vetiver, but it has all of these extra smoky, oily, you know, just it's a weird experience. Everything is super intense. Everything is super concentrated and extra smoky, extra dark, extra resinous. I really like it. It also has this, if you take a look, it looks black, but it's actually not. It's dark green. And especially when it goes on your skin, you can really tell how dark green it is. And it almost has this, you ever made like a smoothie in the morning and you put all of the green things you can think of in there and then just blend it all together, and it kind of has that green smoothie texture and taste? That's a little bit what Rue smells like. So imagine you mixed, on one hand, you mixed this barbecued vetiver, and on the other hand, you mixed this green smoothie and blended them together with smoky vetiver and dry vetiver and earthy vetiver and all of the types of vetiver you can imagine, and that is Rue. Unbelievable. Crazy attar, but I really was digging it. So I wasn't expecting to do this. So today we had to improvise. So I found a house I only had 3 samples of instead of 4, because I've got way more than 4 Xerjoffs. We'll do that, maybe tomorrow or the day after when I've got all of my skin not being occupied. So we'll test the house of DS and Durga. Has anyone smelled this house, number 1? And what do you guys make of it, number 2? And I'm going to read you a blurb on it, and we're going to talk about it first, and then we'll do some spraying. Have no fear. Sunny Man is here. Welcome, Sunny. Good to see you, Andy. I was watching your vetiver extraordinaire video. Yes, that's right. I am apt to interrupt people. Scent of the day, Dior Homme Silver Stem, the best of the bunch. Is that your favorite Dior Homme? Thanks, Andy. Thanks for being here, man. Zoologist Nightingale. That's day 2 of testing it, loving it. I'm so glad that you like it. I knew you would. As soon as I smelled it, I was like, man, that's a winner. That is a winner for sure. Are you going to get a bottle? I'm too overprotective with Diaghilev, so I don't wear it much. I used to be like that with some scents. And then you just realize like time goes by and you end up not wearing your favorite stuff. So now I'm more in the F it, wear your favorite stuff anytime, any day. I'll wear Diaghilev lounging around the house, going to the grocery store. I honestly don't care, especially since I wear fragrances for me. Scent of the day, La Dolea Exquise. Beautiful, Sunny. Is this your first? Did you just get it? I can't remember. Love it. Yep. Probably the first vetiver fragrance I liked. It's a slippery slope, man. We were talking about this earlier, and some of the people in the comments, if you go look at the comments of that video, you'll see some folks were like, it's very common for people not to like vetiver at first. It's kind of a note that has to grow on you. Very few people in their fragrance journey just smell a vetiver heavy fragrance like vetiver extraordinaire and just love it. Very few people. Most people, they take time, years to grow into it. But once you end up liking vetiver, you love it. And I feel like I probably have 15 fragrances that I could call are like vetiver fragrances, and they all share some similarities, but they also have these slight little differences. It's probably overkill, but the collector in me really enjoys it. I probably won't get a bottle of vetiver extraordinaire just because I have so many other vetiver fragrances, and it really reminded me of Guerlain's Vetiver Extreme, the flanker they did in 2007. And I'm guessing they took notes from Vetiver Extraordinaire because that came out 5 years later, I think. And that's the fragrance that popped in my head. As soon as I sprayed Vetiver Extraordinaire and smelled it for the first time, it was instantly Guerlain Vetiver Extreme, the flanker from 2007. So like Boundless, didn't like it initially, but I think that was due to the extremely synthetic difference between that and the other older Amouages. Interesting. I've always liked it, but I was also always really disappointed with it, if that makes sense. It's an interesting house to explore. Have you tried the Aris Ladore vetiver? I have not. No, I absolutely have not. Armando, welcome, brother. Can't wait for your package to get here, man. I'm counting the minutes. Perrac Porom, a very nice under the radar mossy bit animalic leather fougere. Sounds awesome. Sounds awesome, Armando. Sonny, there's some really something to explore if you can. I've been very selective with them, and this one is great. Yes. I like Bowmakers. That's the popular one from the brand, right? So here, I'll read you a little blurb of what they say about DS and Durga. Some interesting facts. So it says, as unusual as the name of the fragrance label DS and Durga is, also a look behind the scenes. DS and Durga was founded by musician and lecturer David Seth, who had a penchant for romance, literature, and music at an early age. On a date with architect Kavi Ahuja, he compared her to Durga, a Hindu goddess. Together, they launched the label DS and Durga and maintained its high status like they always envisioned it. DS and Durga also goes its own way when it comes to ingredients and production. In their work, Seth and Ahuja found themselves drawn to old books on plants and herbs with recipes for tonics, lotions, and creams. The actual development process at DS and Durga is timely due to their focus on quality over quantity. This, along with the costly substances and low yield, is reflected in the price of the fragrances, but is largely compensated by the absence of fragrance designers and middlemen. The aromas of DS and Durga are often based on coriander, citrus, jasmine, leather, or wood. Seth wants to use them to evoke earlier legends of America. He therefore tries to create a connection between the immigrants, Western heroes, gold prospectors, and pioneers, and the 21st century. The fragrances are sold on the internet in the company's store in Brooklyn. So they have a store in Brooklyn. Let me pull up some of the comments and then I'll read. I pulled a couple quotes from DS and Durga that I thought would kind of be cool. There was an article from MrPorter.com that they participated in. Thought it would just kind of be a kind of cool way of a nice way to get to know the brand, because I've never tried anything from them before. This is a very first. So I figured I'd share it with you guys instead of doing it alone. It's better when there's company, you know? Hey, Joseph. Welcome, man. Thanks for being here. I have a weird attraction to T-Rex. I really like T-Rex. It's probably my favorite scent from that Antonio Guardini guy. I forget his name, but the guy who made it, the perfumer. I think it's his best work. Morning all. DS and Durga, so hard to find. Other niche houses or vintage designers over here. So any bottle for me has 1 to 2 month wait time with forwarders at $20 US at least to ship. That sucks, Drifuden. Sorry to hear that, man. I just got all 3 today in the mail. I thought you had some coming. That's right. What do you make of it, Sonny? I absolutely love it. Evil Bill Gates has entered the fragrance industry. Is that true? He's going to put... He's going to put the Vax in the fragrances. So I've heard good things about T-Rex, Margie. I'll have to get my nose on it. It's a crazy fragrance, mate. Crazy. Never tried any DS and Durga. There's something about the house that doesn't resonate with me. I'd try Amber Kiso and Burning Barbershop, though. Yeah, those are on the try list, and so is Bowmakers. But today we have Italian Citrus, Coriander, and Spirit of the Glen. So we're going to go in order. We're going to do Coriander first because it came out in 2008. Then we'll do Italian Citrus from 2011. And then we'll do Spirit of the Glen, which came out in 2013. So all of these are 10 years or older. Yeah, all of these are 10 years or older. So if I like them, maybe I'll find the sample set or something. We'll see how it goes down. What's happening, Interference? Good to see you, man. I wonder what your thoughts are on the Vetiver in Terre de Hermes. I like it, but I like Terre de Hermes. I bought a 500 ml bottle of it recently, but I get a lot of ISOE Super in Terre. I might just pick up Nightingale. Quirky take on a sheeper that I'm really enjoying. Glad you liked it too. I did like it. I was not expecting to like it. And the perfumer who did Nightingale is the same perfumer that did the only zoologist that I ended up with a full bottle of, Moth. So I really like his work, apparently. It's a Japanese fellow. He's really talented. You can tell the attention to detail is top notch. I mean, the way the fragrances transition, and they're very original too. I'm a big fan of his. I'm shocked there hasn't been more stuff coming out from him. Maybe he just spends a lot of time on each creation. Funnily enough, I hated Royal Tobacco, but really liked Boundless and even Material. That is funny, Woozy. I'd take Royal Tobacco over both of those. But hey, different noses, different strokes. I'm not knocking you. I did like Boundless. Material, I did not really like. That one was a no-no for me. Smells similar to Opus 6. But to be honest, Less Abstraits does it better. I didn't get the Opus 6 connection. I got the connection to Imitation Man personally. But that's just me. I like Opus 6. I ended up with a bottle of Opus 6, a vintage bottle, thank God. Ram Jam is unstoppable. That's right. I'm coming for your bottle of Metallica, Galen. You better sleep gripping it at night. Only have the sandalwood one from DS and Durga. Ah, interesting. Our Boz has showed up. Black Orchid from Tom Ford. Nice. You do know what that's supposed to smell like, right? That's interesting you chose that for Valentine's Day. Antonio, welcome, my friend. I hope you're not working on Valentine's Day night. The pistachio one makes me want to die. Which pistachio one? Dessandra's is a banger. I smell it and I just keep shouting, yes, yes, yes. I told you what to get if you like Dessandra's. I told you. Listen to the Ram. All right? Listen to the Ram and get yourself Devin. If you're a fan of Dessandra's, get a vintage bottle of Devin. Amouage has some. He still has some left at a great price. Millesime Tonka. What do you make of that? That's the Shalimar, right? Is that this one? The Shalimar Millesime Tonka. What do you make of that, Galen? Just out of curiosity. I wasn't the biggest fan. Everyone else loved it but me. I mean, it's not bad. I think it's just super redundant. But I think I'm probably thinking about it as redundant because I own... I think it's probably because I own a bottle of Tonka Imperial. I think if you did not own Tonka Imperial, this would be a no-brainer. But I think if you have one, if you have Tonka Imperial, you don't need Shalimar, Millesime, Tonka, personally. It's like 65% Tonka Imperial and the rest some sort of sweeter vanillic Shalimar thing. Very bold and at times extremely jagged. It works in some, falls apart pretty much in everything else. I actually like T-Rex better than Mem and My Woozy. There you go. We are backwards today. Yes, Margie's here. I loved Sacred Scarab. I think it's my favorite zoologist. Sonny's in the car. Don't wreck. The thing I didn't like in rolled tobacco was the amber woods and the pineapple notes. My skin overemphasized both of them. I didn't like the amber woods in Boundless. So it's opposites day for us. Oh, that's good stuff. Work to play. That's right. Not just any Devin. Get the one Amouage has. Trust me. Trust the Ram. I'm telling you. It's worth it. Plus, this came out in 1977. And if you love Dessandra's, I think you will appreciate it much more if you understood Devin. Sandro Lorignano, welcome. I don't think I've seen you before. Welcome, sir. Scent of the Night. Chocolate Makes Me Happy by Unique Slug. That's a Valentine's Day scent if I've ever heard of one. DS and Durga Pistachio. Okay. I prefer the Millesime Vanilla. The Tonka one had a weird plasticky dry down on me. You're the first person, Woozy. I'm telling you, you are the very first person in all of Fragcom that I have heard say that. Everyone says they love this. And not many people like the Millesime Vanilla, but I haven't tried the vanilla one, and I don't think I'll ever buy another one of these Shalimar flankers because every time I spray this, I'm like, fuck, I should have just worn Shalimar. I love Shalimar so much that I feel like I'm cheating time wearing that when I could have been wearing Shalimar. That's right. The Ram never lies. That's right. Honest Ram, like Honest Abe. I think you'll really dig it. It's been Z14 since it was too good. I've just sprayed a BDK Gris Charnel sample to even that out. You need a decant to roast it, Ram. Is it that bad? You know, I've never smelled a BDK either, but I hear they're shite. Good day, Baboosh. Patchouli Intense. It's around 32 Celsius here, and I oversprayed it. Patchouli Intense. You know what Patchouli Intense is like to me? Patchouli Intense is like Geranium Intense. Like, I think it should have been called Geranium Intense. I really think they mislabeled it. There's so much geranium in here. So much. I mean, I don't hate it or anything. I don't know if it's really patchouli intense, if that makes sense. However, I do have an outrageous statement to make. Actually, you know what? I'm not gonna say it because I'll probably end up jinxing it. I know I shouldn't start something like that on a live and then stop, but it's coming from Tokyo, and God, you know, shipping from Tokyo is, who knows if it'll ever actually arrive. Wasn't a big fan to begin with, but it's really grown on me. Maybe I need to wear it more. Yeah, my skin, I get way more of the spices and vanilla in Boundless. You don't get the amber woods. You don't get the amber woods in Boundless, dude. Oh, I feel like it's like Amberwood City in Boundless. Probably the best part about Boundless to me is that spicy opening. It's like Play-Doh at a high desert bonfire. That's actually a pretty good way to describe it, Galen. My Valentine's Day scent was Diaghilev. That's 2 people so far with Diaghilev. Speaking of Opus 6, one thing I didn't like about it was it had a weird plasticky smell. Do you get it at all? I don't get a weird plasticky smell, but there's no oud in it. It's all cypriol. I think I saw an interview once where Alberto Mordias and Pierre Negrin basically wanted to create a fragrance that replicated what oud does without using a single drop of oud. That was the point of Opus 6. Is tooth achingly sweet. Oh my God, I would despise it. It's my arch nemesis. Have you tried the incense oud from Nicolai? No. No, I have not. I haven't tried most of Nicolai's at all. But the ones that I have tried, my favorite by far is New York Intense. I think that is, you know, I know I give a hard time to fragrances like Chanel's Pour Monsieur, YSL Pour Homme, you know, Tiffany for Men. The list goes on. You've heard me say them over and over and over again. But this takes that DNA, this New York Intense, and does it so well. And if I'm lucky, there will be a package arriving from Tokyo at some point soon, and there'll be 100 ml of this in it. I love this stuff. This alone, New York Intense alone, makes me want to smell more from the House of Nicolai. Yeah, I completely agree with you, Margie. And I was against flankers. I was against Shalimar flankers as well, but I bought into the hype, and I bought into the whole limited edition hype, and I was like, well, screw it. It's $100, whatever. And then I got it, and I was like, it's not worth it. I'll just stick with the OG. Yeah, I got hardcore amber woods in Boundless, big time. I think it even says, like, so listen to how she describes. This is Karine Vinchon Spinner. When I created Boundless, I wanted to play with the idea of a golden wood All I think of when I hear golden wood in quotes is amber woods, amber woods. That's all I can think of. I mean, I like the fragrance. It's not, I don't think it's a bad fragrance. I just think it's beneath my expectations of what Amouage are, if that makes sense. You know, if this came in a Bulgari bottle or something like that, people would be praising it, and they should be. But the fact that it's in an Amouage bottle, my expectations are higher, you know. Arbaz just said exactly what I was thinking in a different way. It's spot on. That's it. Yeah, you guys are nailing it. I 100% agree. I do get amberwoods, but they aren't intrusive to my nose as they are in Royal Tobacco and Enclave. Enclave I did not like, but I smelled that before I was doing the videos like this on the channel. So there's no video on Enclave, but I would like to smell it again. I'd like to smell Meander and Enclave again so I could do videos on them. All right, we're almost at the 30-minute mark, so let's get this Coriander on my skin. Actually, first, let me read some of these quotes from this little magazine I found. So this is from 2021. It says, "It's a foregone conclusion to us that perfume is an art form," says Mr. David Seth Maltz, who's one half owner in this DS and Durga brand. "We're not trying to push that agenda. It's just true." Another quote, "People are realizing that perfume is an art form like music and literature and poetry and film," says David. "I can say the same amount of things in a perfume as you can in a book or a painting or music. It's just a different set of variables." What was the other quotes that I liked? So apparently he met I guess it's his wife randomly on the street. We're respectful and we honor the canon of perfume that came before us, says David. Just like the Rolling Stones named their band after Muddy Waters, they weren't like, screw the blues, we're going to do it better. They were just really inspired. We don't want to tear anything down. The best-selling product is I Don't Know What, a reference to Je ne sais quoi, which David says he got from Dr. Evil line in an Austin Powers movie. Okay, at least he's honest. Let's see. What other quotes did I see in here that I thought would be cool to share? "We put so much heart and soul into creating a story, a whole world around the fragrance, only for someone to smell it and judge it in 1 second." He was talking about people not giving the dry downs a chance anymore. "People are realizing it's not sustainable running around like rats every day," he says. "Good fragrance can be a part of a nice, slow life." Okay, so there you go. New York Intense is my favorite in the Nicolai house, and yes, I know that's a very basic and easy opinion. We finally agree on something, Woozy. "I love the beginning part of Enclave, but that's pretty much it. Yeah, it didn't feel like an Amouage to me." Ram, do you think there's an ideal number of bottles in a collection? 50, 100, 200? In my opinion, I'm pushing past 200. Are you really doing justice to all those bottles? I'm at 100 and I can only reach maybe 25. Yeah, no, it's a lot of it is reference. I mean, you're not going to get to wear everything. It's reference and it's there if you ever want to wear it, kind of thing. That's the best part of having a big collection is you can kind of wear something. You can go, like, I try to go back to my favorites more. But like some of these that I absolutely love, I haven't worn in a long time because you can't wear everything. But it gives you the chance to kind of focus on the ones that you want to wear. And then at night, let's say after you've worn your scent of the day, then you can go back and go, hey, you know what? I haven't worn Sunshine Man for a while, and you can whip it out, spray it and smell it and that kind of thing. So it keeps your knowledge, it keeps your database fresh if you have a big collection. But yeah, you're not going to wear everything. I mean, my goal is to wear everything. So if I still have a big collection when I'm 80, I'm doing like 1,000 sprays a day. if there's still a YouTube. All right, let me put this coriander on. So coriander is going to go on the right wrist, since the left wrist is already taken today by Ruhus. Coriander. So coriander is at least the sprayers on these are better than the usual sample sprayer. All right, let's see what we get. So this is from 2008 Coriander. That's pleasant. It's not bad. It's like a spicy, I don't know, green thing, which is what you would expect in coriander, spicy and green. Russian coriander, pepper, juniper needle. Juniper needle reminds me of, like, you know, pine needle when I see juniper needle. Geranium, clove, clary sage, musk, magnolia, and mace. What a strange base. The base is musk, magnolia, and mace. Mace is usually like, isn't that a heart or a top note usually? I don't think I've ever seen mace in the base. Oh, there's a perfume name for you. Mace in the base. It's everyone's opinion. That's why I've never tried anything else from the brand. Sounds like a one-trick pony. And the fact that she's, you know, related to the Guerlains. Their DS EDP is 550 Australian, which is more than Colonel Flower. Wow, I didn't realize they were that expensive. What's retail? I guess I should have pulled up the website. Let's see, dsdurga.com. Oh, DS and Durga is a prohibited site according to my work. Let's see. Try this again. DS Durga. DS and Durga. Ah, I did type in the wrong site. The landing page when you go to dsanddurga.com right now says stimulating Valentines. Stimulating Valentines. And so let's see what these go for. So let's go to coriander. How do I, oh my God, this website is a nightmare. How do I find stuff? Okay, perfumes. All. Man, this website is like, they got a lot of fragrances. They got way more fragrances than I thought they had. Coriander, here we go. So coriander is 190 bucks for 50 mil. They do a $75 pocket. How much juice do you get with the pocket? Doesn't tell you. That pocket idea is good though. I like that. I usually like those. If that's a 10 mil, that's not a bad deal. If it's a 10 or a 15 mil, you get 50 mils for 190. You get 100 mils for 280. And it says sparkling leaf, cubeb, green pepper, and cracked coriander seed, cool spice, and black sea breeze like the hills above Odessa. So it says coriander is cool. It is a spice, but it is cool. When we think of spices, we think of warmth. Nutmeg, ginger, clove, and cinnamon. We picture roaring fires, winter warmth, or the tropical climes where these plants grow. Of course, with some perfume wizardry, you can turn these on their heads, but coriander is already cool. It is a fresh green, pungent, and evocative of the grass, the expanse of fields, the sweeping sea. Our coriander scent is the coriander from the hills above Odessa on the Black Sea. Tall stalks holding celadon grooved seeds looking down at ships at port. In the top, you have the fresh, pungent coriander heightened by sappy green lime peels and the aggressive herbal scrawl of rosemary from Morocco, which is rounder than those from Eastern Europe. I always like my rosemary a little bit more round. Cubeb seeds, the noble cousin to black pepper, give more dry, musky, round, cool. Clary Sage takes the baton of the herbal strangeness and runs it into the fresh heart. There in the heart is radiant ether, aquatic materials, and the ubiquitous ambery cool of Isoe Super and Co, along with the rich hay-like absolute of lavender. All of these materials they're listing, by the way, none of them are listed on the Parfumo note listing. The base of green moss and unctuous musks hold together the lasting fresh cool of cool spice. A lot of cool. It is an everyday scent, light enough to meld with skin and project its presence with a subtle aura, fresh but unique with its pungent green atmosphere. I mean, if you're going to wear a fresh, easy to wear scent, you could definitely do worse than this. I'll put it that way. Of course, now that they've planted the seed of cool in my head, that's all I can think of. Yeah, of course it does smell cool. Yes. I've been marketed to. I feel like I'm sitting at one of the movie studios and they flash the slogan real quick. You want a Coke? And I'm like, damn, I think I want a Coke. Any recommendations for a tobacco scent that is not sweet? Oh, yes, that's easy. Rogue's Tabac Verte is an absolute banger. A bush out and out tobacco. Tabac Verte. It's a very green tobacco, but it's very, very good. Or Polo Green. There you go. Probably the best. Ombre Cashmere I've never smelled, Woozy. The only two I really didn't like were Queer Cuba and Baikal Leather. The two I want to try. You just named the two I really want to try from the brand. But I'm a leather lover, so what didn't you like about them? Hello, Frieder. Welcome to the stream. DS and Durga, that's what we're testing. We're only doing 3 today. I started with Coriander. It's not bad. I like it. It's very, even though they say that it's not actually pepper, what did they say it is? They said it's cubeb seeds, which is the noble cousin of black pepper. That's good because we don't want the unnoble cousin of black pepper. Fuck that guy. We want the noble cousin. Are they at New York Intense level? No. Pleasant, Yeah, it's pleasant. I mean, this is not going to blow anyone away, I'll tell you that. Not if you're a frag head, but if you're looking for a Mason the Bass, tell me that's not a great name for a fragrance or a band. A band. All I can think of now is Ace of Base. I saw the sign. That's a classic for sure, but all tobacco scents are sweet. And the only other one I can think about is Open from Roger and Gabay. It's Out and Out Tobacco. So kind of difficult note to find. It is a difficult note to find. Have you tried... So you mentioned Open, but have you tried Open Black? I think I like this actually a little bit more than Open. It's a little bit... It feels like the bolder, unapologetic cousin of Open. Open's easy to wear. I like Open actually in the heat. I found Open opens up a little bit more in the heat. Sorry for the bad pun. But Open Black is a modern release from the house. This came out like 10 years ago, maybe, something like that. What a ballsy release this is. Because it feels like it came out in 1980. I'll do a review on these sooner or later. It is a difficult note. Go with, get yourself a sample. Don't blind buy. Don't follow in my footsteps. But get yourself a sample of Tabak Verte. Rachel in the house? Not really. Doesn't mean the others are bad. Your employer knows that you shouldn't be looking at that brand. It's funny because I actually have to get like prior approval. So they actually do know that I'm a fragrance nut. The DS EDP is the one with gold lettering. The website's so hard to navigate, though. I don't know if I could even find the one with gold lettering if I wanted to. Gold lettering. I think I did find it. Is it called Durga? $350. Wait, they got a bunch of gold letterings now. They've got DS Perfume, a Pure Vision of India. They've got a couple $350 now. Yeah, they've got a couple. Indeed. Rachel, you're so good on those open forms. Okay, I have the right one for you. Carner Sandor 70s. I did a video on that. Arbaz. If you're interested in that scent, go watch my early impression. It was good. I liked it. I don't think I would get a bottle. I think I would still recommend. I would recommend Tabak Verte. The fuck is the photo angle? What photo angle? Open forms. You mean live panels? JJ's channel. Yeah, I haven't heard bad reviews either. Maybe New York Intense is just too good. It's really good. Like I said, I have a if the fates shine on the ram, okay, I have a 100 ml bottle of this on the way very soon, thanks to a very kind listener of the channel, actually. But it has to get here from Tokyo, is the only problem. Want a trick? Subscribe to their last email, then wait. They do have an annual scratch and dent sale. Act quick, though. Nice, Eddie. I know you know all the tricks of the trade. That's good stuff. I see they've got this subscribe to get 15% off your first order thing going on here. Gonna give it a shot. That's it. It is easy to wear. It seems easy to wear and peppery and green and fresh and that kind of thing. But it is well made. The ingredients seem well made. But this isn't the kind of thing that would move me. You know, I've been getting a lot of peppery fragrances lately. Even Better Extraordinaire seemed kind of peppery to me today for some reason. I don't know if most people found it peppery or not, but that Comme des Garçons Black seemed very peppery to me. And now we've got Coriander, which is very peppery. So, but I like this. It's good. I don't think I would buy it, but it's good. Now I want a Coke. I know, me too. And I usually don't drink sodas. I found that I feel a lot better if I just don't drink soda. He said unsweet, though, Interference. I think Tobacco Reserve is a fantastic tobacco, but it is on the sweet side. It's got that very sweet Tonka thing going on with it, you know? Yeah, this is definitely much sweeter than something like Tabak Verte. Dervish #1 is also amazing, but Dervish is sweet. That's the only issue, is that Dervish is sweet. Now, to be fair, the sweetness, you know, does that, but it's sweet. Yeah, the opening is tough, especially if you don't like sweet. You're going to have to grit your teeth, but it does go away. It does get better. Bicol leather is decent, I thought. Okay, see, I want to try those leathers. No poor peasant pepper. That's right. This was the What did I say? What did they say it was? Ah, shit, I clicked off of it. They said it was the noble cousin. Yes. The noble cousin. He's in line for the throne. Bicol leather has a weird synth leather sweetness, while Queer Kuba was a bit too harsh. She can do harsh, can't she? I thought that Patchouli Intense was a bit too harsh. I don't know if you guys did too, but I thought it was a pretty harsh fragrance. Good morning, Juro. Welcome. Did you like Le Labo's tobacco? I've never smelled it. Actually, that's a brand I pretty much avoided. I haven't smelled 95% of their offerings. Black Flankers. How's Montana Black? I don't know. I've never smelled it. I stick to the OG on that one. You're talking about the flanker of Montana Parfum Dome. Bocanera by Orditis is more so cigarette tobacco. I just got a sample of that, Daniel. I just got a sample of that from Shiva. Shiva sent me a sample. Yes, here we go. We'll do an Orto Parisi one of these too. Here's Bocanera. This is a house I really want to get into. I really like the way that these Orto Parisis are built. I mean, it's a lot of synthetics, absolutely, but I'm enjoying them. That's it. I think you just got two of probably the better, just, easy to just go get your hands on tobacco. But the chocolate note in Bocanera, there's a chocolate note in here. Is there a place where the notes are listed? Because I realize that he does not list his notes. It's all a mystery. Only one I've smelt was Burning Barbershop. I love smoky fragrances, but holy smokes, from DS and Durga. Burning Barbershop was legit, eh? It's more so cooking chocolate than regular chocolate. Cooking chocolate? Meant the angle on the DS and Durga website, like, why are the bottles photographed from the bottom? Yeah, the website looks weird, doesn't it? You're exactly right. It's very, very strange. It is a very strange website. I think they're trying to make themselves look cool, but it just kind of comes across as weird. The whole thing is like disorienting. Did you use that word? You did. Yeah, disorienting is a great word for it. You also need a time machine to get tobacco reserve. Yeah. Unless you're okay just spending a couple $100. How are the bottles of Devin Amouage has, by the way? They're exactly the same one that I have. They're the exact one that you want. This one. Trust me. Trust me. Trust me. Trust the RAM. I mean, you can't, and I think you can get this for like $120 or something. You cannot get 100 mils of a fragrance this good for $120. This complex from a legend like Bernard Chant. And you'll get the added benefit of kind of seeing the grandfather of Dessandra's. So it's just a win all around. Plus, if you don't like it, you could probably sell it and make money. I mean, it's good. Yeah, that's an interesting one, Antonio. Rich Mitch says that Tobacco Oud shares a little bit with Amber Absolute. Is it Amber Absolute that Tom Ford did? I've never smelled Amber Absolute, but he said they share a little bit, some notes. So there's probably a little bit of sweetness in Tobacco Oud. Honestly, I'll give a shout out to Versace's Tabak Imperial. I got mine at a solid discount. Never smelled it. Love Tobacco Oud. Not sure tobacco is the main player. Yeah, it's kind of that ambery thing, right? I already own Tobacco Oud, but it's more so that oud than tobacco. Yeah. Birch Tart Overload. They've always had their site like that. Believe me, it's easier now than what it used to be. Oh, that's good stuff. Good old DS and Durga. By the way, I'm pretty sure that Eddie's the one that sent me these. So thank you to Eddie. Jonathan B. Swift is Eddie, by the way. So shout outs to Senator Eddie for all the work that he's done helping out Channel Ram. No, but I watched a review from JJ where and if he agreed to it, you know that there are differences because they refuse to basically say that the vintages are almost never say that they're worth it. So if JJ said it's worth it to go vintage, I'm guessing that there's a pretty big drop off in the modern formula. All right, let's get this Italian citrus on my skin, shall we? Good old Italian citrus. The citrus is like, hey, oh, hey, oh, hey. I like the sprayers on these. I like these samples. These are better than the usual sample, let's say. They're better than the zoologist samples, I'll tell you that. Well, it's definitely citrus. I'll tell you that. It's almost like you're smelling like the rind, like you're smelling a blend of the rinds of lime and lemon and orange and grapefruit, all in just the rinds, you know, like you took a cheese grater and just grated the rinds off of each of the citruses. It smells high class, you know, doesn't smell cheap, but it is just a citrus fragrance. I guess if it wasn't, I would be a little bit shocked since it's named Italian citrus. Let's see what it says. $190 for 50 mil, $280 for 100 mil. Well, at least they are consistent. Let's see. Top notes: pressed lemon, chinotto. I think chinotto is that liqueur of it's a special type of bitter orange is what chinotto is. My cousin's a lemon. Don't worry. Blood orange. Heart notes of green mandarin, violet leaf, and incense. Base of copaiba balsam, musk ambrette, and oak moss. A bracing cologne of coastal Italian citrus rinds. Ah, they did say rinds. Chinotto, blood orange, cold pressed lemon, and green mandarin with ambrette seed and clean musk. So it says, and there's a picture of a bee sitting on the inside of like a lemon. There are many variations on cologne. The original Italian, French, German, and Hungarian recipes usually call for citrus, lemon, bergamot, etc., herbs, lavender, rosemary, and neroli, orange blossom distillate. The scent is instantly recognizable. Most classic colognes are very pleasant. Everyday wearing of that out-of-the-shower scent. With varying degrees, they often do not last. Eau de cologne technically refers to the low amount of fragrance oil in the final product. They aren't traditionally built to last. Our Italian citrus varies the formula in a few ways to create a fresh citrus scent where the citrus actually lasts into the dry down. Overall, Italian citrus is lush and lasting. This is the accord that I want to take all the way down to the base. Instead of the herbs of classic colognes, we use violet ionones to keep the sweet going south. In the base, the liquid crystal smell of copaiba balsam, a white resin from South America, blends with incense absolute and oak moss. This gives an afterthought of citrus. Copaiba balsam for the fresh, peppery bergamot, incense for the orange lemony notes, and oak moss for the green. The Italian coast is special for more than its citrus. It is a carefree place where the scenery humbles all who see it. Endless roads climb and wind above the shimmer of the Mediterranean. Secret spots around. Food, conversation, relaxation. Old classic cars, white suits, colorful ties and dresses, beautiful people. It's always nice to spray something and remember places where life is bright. Firstly, the citrus palette is wide. We use 5 distinct coastal Italian fruits in a certain proportion to create a bright beginning. I did say a bunch of rinds blended together. That's what it smells like. And interestingly enough, it's bitter. So if you are somebody like me who does not like sweet fragrances and you wanted an eau de cologne, which I usually don't, but let's say you did, this would be high on the list of bitter, well done eau de cologne style fragrances. I don't know if it'll actually last like they say it will, but I like that bitterness about it. There is the most Italian of fruits, bergamot, lightened with the even fresher yellow Amalfi lemon, the oceanic select red mandarin distillate with its peculiar clam note, sweet red blood orange, and bitter orange chinotto peel. So here's the thing. If you know kind of fragrances like if you know fragrances like this is a vintage bottle of Jacques Fath green water. Very hard to come by nowadays because this has the most amount of narrowly ever in any creation, basically in history. And that's why this was such an expensive formula back in the day and to make, because of that huge amount of neroli, which is a very expensive ingredient. Most people don't realize that. And Creed, this is a decant of Creed's Selection Verte, which they claim is from 1970. Green water's from like the 40s. So Selection Verte is like Creed's take on that. If I wanted that DNA, I would probably just wear this. It's a little bit more pepperminty, I would say, than what I get from Italian Citrus by DS and Durga. I may even like the Italian Citrus just a hair better, but I don't think it's worth it to me to go buy it when I've got this, or, you know, I actually picked up a new cologne recently. It was a partial, and I got a great deal on it. From, speaking of Parfums de Nicolai, this is their cologne called Cologne Sologne, and it's absolutely fantastic. This is, I would just reach for something like this. I mean, there's so many colognes that you could wear, so many of that fresh, you know. It's just a very hard, it's a hard thing to impress, if that makes sense. It's a hard thing to impress. Come on, camera. I think my camera just had a conniption. Focus, baby. There you go. Sounds a little bit designer. You know, I don't think a designer would put this out because it's too bitter. And most people that want to smell a Dior or something like that, Versace or, you know, Victor and Rolf, they want to get that, you know, sweetness, that amberiness, that ambroxan. This is none of that. This is a take on the eau de cologne, but with bitter, rindy, you know, imagine you're touching like a oh, what is that note that I'm thinking of? There's a note, there's a citrus note that citron fruit. If you've ever seen a citron fruit basically is all rind. There's almost no like meat inside of it. And the people in part of the region where citron fruits grow, they actually just cut it and eat the rind itself. And they cook it into dishes and stuff like that. But citron fruit is almost all rind. That's the image that I get. Even though there's no citron fruit in here, I get the image of the citron fruit because it's all rind. This is all rindy and bitter and maybe a touch of the violet leaf and incense thing, but it's in the background. The focus really is on that bittery citruses. So if you're looking for an eau de cologne, you know, and you don't want to go with Cologne Sologne, and you don't want to try to hunt down a bottle of Selection Verte by Creed, good luck with that. And Jacques Fath green water is not your thing because there's too much neroli. Again, the traditional style eau de cologne, like DS and Durga was saying in their write-up, you could go for something like this. There's nothing wrong with it. It's good. It's well made. It's just that style doesn't move me anymore, you know? Yeah, exactly. It sounds like the next Francis K. Dior. Exactly, you're exactly right. I was just staying away from tobacco honey. If I really wanted to wear a classic Italian citrusy cologne, I'm going for Acqua de Parma Colonia. That's another great point. Yeah, I actually have, there's a bottle of, in my collection, I've got Acqua de Parma Colonia Intensia. This is a good one too. It's actually it's a Francois Demachy creation. And it's good. It, again, you got to respray it every 3 hours or whatever, but it does the job. And that's the problem with the cologne genre, is that there's so many out there that just do the job, you know, like, does this do the job? Maybe slightly better because of, I like the bitterness. I really am enjoying it. I like both of these so far, but neither of them, I think, really move me, if that makes sense. This is just kind of a green, peppery, you know, fresh thing, which is well done. But again, I wouldn't spend the money for it. And this is a very well done take on the eau de cologne category. Now, if you don't have Chanel, you know, I don't know why I said Chanel. If you don't have some of these eau de colognes we were talking about, you could easily go for Italian citrus and be happy and be satisfied with the product that you're getting. But if you already have a couple of them in your collection, it kind of starts to get a little bit redundant. You know what I mean? 190 for 50. That's it. For an eau de cologne, it's like, I thought it smelled like burnt hair. Fitting name, I guess. Burnt hair with lime. Burnt hair with lime. Really? See, that's a line I haven't tried, actually. I've never smelled the Hermes eau de colognes, Woozy. But I hear they're really well done. I think one of them was made one of the most famous ones, the what was it called? Pamplemousse, or that was a Francois Caron creation, I think. Elon's fragrance vibes. Tuscan leather intense. Take the original and 80s it up with some woods and greenery, nuke the room, and still putting out the end of a 12-hour shift. I haven't smelled that. I haven't smelled Tuscan leather intense, but I love Tuscan leather, so. Intensa is great. I also like Pura. I've never smelled Pura. The problem is I hate to say this, but I almost feel kind of like the way Rich Mitch feels about blue fragrances, where he says you only need one. I almost feel that way about these colognes. You know, like how many of these just easy to grab and spray colognes. Again, this is Creed's Selection Verte, which basically does the same thing, but with mint. And then, you know, something like green water. How many of these do you really need? I mean, they kind of all do the same thing. And at least in my mind, I'm counting the days till I can wear Antaeus or Bel-Ami or any of those things that I love again anyways. So then I just said, back when I used to kind of break my collection up the way Rich Mitch does, where he has his summer fragrances, he has his winter fragrances, and you know, then I would just kind of be counting the days to when I can wear the stuff that I really want to wear. Like I'm forcing myself to wear these because it's summer. So now I just wear whatever the hell I want. And if I wear one of these, great. The next day I'll probably wear one of the bangers that I really want to be wearing anyways. I'll wear Bel-Ami. Ah, yeah. Eddie says there's a bunch of them at discounters. What's your favorite, Eddie? Which one's your favorite? I really like Pure White. Pure White. What is that? Pure White. Ah, is it a pure? You mean Pure White Cologne by Creed? That's another one, but that's like $900 a bottle or something. Oud and Spice from Acqua de Parma is underrated. Never smelled that one, Daniel. I haven't smelled a lot of the Acqua de Parmas. There's just so much shit out there. Like, I could do these videos every day and I would barely be making a dent in the amount of stuff that's out there. You know, it's just, I mean, just I'm looking at the amount of DS and Durga, so we're knocking out 3 today. They've got 6 pages on Parfumo. Each page is 20 fragrances, almost. So yeah, they've got a ton of stuff on here. Now they're not probably all still available. I'm sure some of them have been discontinued, but they got a lot of fragrances out there. Let's put it that way. So even with this house, we're not even really making a dent, you know? Yeah, okay. I've got a sample of that. I have a sample of pure white cologne. I'll do a video on it one day before it's all gone. I found it in my bathroom, just like thrown in the back of a drawer recently. I was like, how did you get in there? It survived, and it still smells exactly the way I remember it. It is very nice. I'll agree with you, Interference. I remember you mentioning that you really like this. What do you get from it? Alone has like 1,000 fragrances. Yes. I have 4 fragrances that I enjoy wearing just in the summer. Essentia, Versace, L'Homme. Yeah, L'Homme's nice in the summer. Sergio Tacchini, I've never smelled. Florist 89, I've never smelled. I want to get a vintage bottle of that Versace L'Homme, and I can do a comparison video and sell off my modern. All right, let's spray this last one. I have the most hopes of this. This one's called Spirit of the Glen. The name alone gives me hope. Spirit of the Glen. And then I looked at the note listing and I was like, oh, this is going to be a good one. I'm really hoping this is the winner of the bunch, because if one of these two are the winners, we're in trouble. Houston, we have a problem. Spray this bad boy. I'm expecting some Papillon samples coming in tomorrow. Ah, you're in for a treat, Sonny. Especially if you've never smelled them before. If that's the first time you're smelling them. I got mine during one of their traveler sales at Neiman, where you buy the Creed travel spray and you can fill it with whatever fragrance you want. I picked pure white ones. Nice. Nice. Those are, how much how are those 50 mils? Those, I know which ones you're talking about. They're pretty nice atomizers, actually. All right, let's see. Spirit of the Glen. Have you tried American Blend by Fine? No. No, but I do have a vintage bottle of Rive Gauche Pour Homme. Yes, Salome is better than Under My Skin. Yeah, 100% to me. To me, it is. I think it's better. I think it's better made. I think you'll probably see that, Sonny. Oh, yeah. This is going to be the winner for sure. 100%. I don't even think there's going to be a question. It is a little sweet in the opening, but I dig this. I like Spirit of the Glen. This is good. It's discontinued. Of course it is, motherfucker. Spirit of the Glen is discontinued, so it probably won't be on the DS and Durga website. Let's see if I can find it. Can I search? Let's see if they've got like a discontinued Spirit Oh, they don't keep up with their discontinued fragrances. Okay, good to know. So let's Google it. DS and Durga, Spirit of the Glen. See if we can find it on like an old page. Okay. Interesting. So apparently Spirit of the Glen is a nod to like Glenlivet, the distilled spirit of the Scottish Highlands. Very interesting. Salome is incredible. Yep. They have a couple great irises, Woozy. Hera is one of them that she made for her daughter's wedding that I did a video on. I absolutely loved it. It's like Liz Moore's does Dior Homme. Fantastic. And what was the other one? There was another one. I did a video on it, actually. I just forget the name. She has some amazing irises. Yep, lick the stream for Valentine's. Thanks, Arbaz. Good to see you, brother. It's a good substitute for Rive Gauche. To me, spending $300 for a shaving foam smell is just too much. I know what you mean. I know exactly what you mean. And that's how much they go for nowadays. It's a big neroli with that Creed ambergris. It's a very simple, sophisticated. It is very simple, but I like it. And I like that whiteness. I like the Creed ambergris thing. I don't think it's worth what it goes for, but it's good. Hey, Christoph, welcome. So Spirit of the Glen is amazing. Here's the note. Scotch whiskey, which apparently is supposed to be this Glenlivet Scotch, pear, grass, and pineapple weed, limousine oak, more pineapple weed, hay, barley mint, bourbon, whiskey barrel, and sherry cask notes. And seeks to recall the myth-infused lands of Northern Europe, tracing legends from antiquity, the Iron and Viking Age. Hylnds fragrances are made with an in-depth research into historical documents, aromatic analysis of real places, and the artistic creation of the Celtic, Norse, Manx, and Anglo peoples. The story behind Spirit of the Glen may be even cooler, at least for a Scottish drinker. Lucky Scent says it arose out of an actual collaboration between perfumer David Maltz and Glenlivet. That's unbelievable. Glenlivet allowed him to use accords from all aspects of the production, right down to the bourbon barrel and the sherry cask. That's where that sherry cask base comes from. I really like the Spirit of the Glen. This might be one of the most interesting liqueur fragrances I've ever smelled. And of course, you can't get it now. It's probably 5 times the price because people know it's discontinued. Yeah, you'll love Salome, Sonny. There's no doubt about it. I think I had a wet pavement sample by DS and Durga that I liked at one time. Probably the most realistic take. Interesting. What? More realistic than Narciso Rodriguez for him, Eau de Toilette. Spirit of the Glen was part of the Highland series. I'm learning that, Eddie. That's right. I really like it. Is the whole series discontinued or just this one? Sorry to clear my schnoz. Angelique, that's it. Yeah. I actually think Hera is even better than Angelique. Angelique was good. If you like soft scents, the way Eugene describes them, like personal scents, you know, like you like stuff that wears for yourself very privately, Angelique is perfect. Hera, I think, is even better. It is a little bit more expensive, but it's very, very good. Yes, I have a video coming on Dryad soon. I've just been waiting. This one's amazing. Oh, it really captures the essence of that Glenlivet to the T. It's fantastic. I don't know if I would have picked out that it was Glenlivet, obviously, but definite liqueur fragrance, amazing. Yes, we saved the best for last. I can't believe it's discontinued. That's sad. So it was released a decade ago. So, here's a description from the official DS and Durga scent from 2013 when it was launched. Over the highland peaks, remote Caledonia swathed in primeval forest, green mantle, where men of the Raven repelled the ignoble few by the bootlegger bridge, fog, cave, stills, steam, plumes. The cold water flows the pristine spirit of the Glen Levitt. Barley, pineapple weed, wild chamomile, Scots pine, ages in rare woods, limousine oak, charred bourbon barrel, touches of sherry cask, unmistaken purity from the land of the smooth flowing one. Accords taken from all aspects of whiskey production, opens fresh and fruity, releases oak in the heart, and finishes with rich vanillic wood reminiscent of the Glen Levitt 18. Man, I'm sold. Where do I buy this? It's a wonderful description. Yes, it is. Charred bourbon barrels. There's definitely this sticky, malty, bourbony, scotchy, peaty, maybe birchy, smoky liqueur thing with woods, barley malt, cask barrels, that's like the feeling that it gives you. Yeah, Christoph, someone else mentioned Burning Barbershop earlier. I've never smelled it. That's a weird note listing, hard to visualize. It is hard to describe, actually, because there is a fruity opening, but it didn't remind me of pear. I don't think I would have, maybe, but I don't think my brain would have went to pear. I would have just thought of how some sommeliers, hell, Rachel's here. She's probably better than anyone equipped to talk about this, but how some sommeliers will pick out fruity notes in this wine and charcoaly notes in that one, kind of the way we do with perfume. I would have thought the fruitiness just comes from part of the aging process of the whiskey. That's what it feels like. It feels like you're smelling a slightly sweetened but not overdone, just slightly sweetened with Scotch liquor scent or whiskey scent, if you will, that has undertones of fruitiness, kind of like some wines have undertones of fruitiness. The liqueur note it doesn't feel like a real pear note in the top. And I think once that wood note they were talking about in the heart blooms, because I just sprayed this, I think this is going to be absolutely fantastic. I'm going to look and see. Oh, they discontinued this whole line. This is the one that got me the most excited. This Hylnds line. I wonder if I can find a bottle, because this is bottle worthy. This is good. I find alcohol frags hard to wear. Do people think I'm drunk? I know what you mean. I know exactly what you mean, Rachel. There's a fine line. I think most people don't. I don't know if most people recognize or can pick out, they're not going to think you're wasted. I don't think they're going to think you're wasted or anything, but maybe someone will. There you go. Yeah, like I said, Rachel's a sommelier in her previous life. Limousine oak is what they use to make aging barrels for wine and booze. That's it. And that's it has that aged liquor vibe. It doesn't smell like the oak we're used to smelling in fragrances. It smells like you're just smelling an aged liqueur, Slightly green, slightly fruity, but it feels like all of the other aspects, like the green and the fruit, are emanating from the liquor. You know what I mean? That's what it feels like. It's a fantastic liquor fragrance. This is good. Coute from Unique Luxury was an ultra-realistic whiskey scent. Couldn't stand it at all. Someone mentioned that to me in a comment. You mentioned you hated it in a comment, Daniel, months ago or something. And then someone else came behind you and was like, that's the greatest whiskey scent I've ever smelled in my life. Alcohol fragrances are easier to pull off than savory scents. I wonder why dessert-like scents are so accepted. I agree with you, Woozy. I agree with you 100%. There's something hard. It's very hard for me to wear a note like creme brulee or toffee or, you know, hazelnut or, you know, those kind of caramel. It's very hard for me to wear those type of scents. It is a shame this is discontinued. It is an absolute travesty. I guess I should shut up about it, because if there is a bottle floating around out there, I'm never going to find it. Perfect impression of Spirit of the Glen is amazing, isn't it? It's just unique. I'm glad I saved this one for last, because I was kind of getting down on the brand with the first two. This one just like re-inspired my interest. I want to try the rest of this Hylnds line. I do enjoy praline as a note, though. Praline as a note is done by Guerlain in a couple scents, especially this new. I've got some Guerlain first impressions too, but this new Oud Cole that they did, I have a video on this on the channel already, by the way. But there's a praline note in Oud Cole that is absolutely horrendous. And it's one of the worst things I've ever smelled in my life. And if you like the praline note, I would tell you to go for the way that Thierry Vasseur did the praline in Abbey Rouge Dress Code. I never show the bottle for Dress Code because it's under lock and key. But one of these days, I'll bring it up here. I'll bring it up to the office. I need to kind of switch things around. So some of the stuff that's here goes under lock and key, and some of the stuff in lock and key can come up here, so I can just reach back and grab it, you know. Thanks, Rachel. Yeah, this Hylnds series is awesome. Let me see what else. Excuse me. Let me see what else is in this. Yeah, there is this. Even though it's not listed, there's no vanilla or anything like that listed, but there is something slightly sweet emanating from this liqueur scent. This whiskey scotch scent, however you want to describe it, bourbon, smoky. There's a smoky limousine oak thing. Vanilla. There's definitely something vanillic or sweet, but I don't mind it. It's good. Just like I sometimes don't mind sweet fragrances with tobacco. Sweet fragrances with liqueur I can usually deal with. Like, for example, Roja's Crétiony, which is also under lock and key, is a great example of that. That is a sweet, sweet fragrance. If I could remake Crétiony, I would dial down that vanilla in the base to almost nothing, and I bet it would be the best cognac scent you've ever smelled. But that vanilla just is, it's almost too much. Oh, shit. I've got a whole bunch of scents under lock and key. All of my Antaises, all of my Coroses, all of my Rocco Baroccos, a lot of my Creeds, all of my Bortnikovs. I mean, they're just, there's two of these. Not of this, but there's another part of my collection. This is only part of it. Maybe that's what I'm smelling. Rachel says when oak chars, it gives off vanilla. That's interesting. There is this. It is like a charred vanilla. Now that you mention that, Rachel, that makes a lot of sense. I really, really like this. Like, really like this. This is a shame. I've completely forgotten about Italian citruses. Italian citrus and coriander, while nice, have just been completely taken over by Spirit of the Glen. What a great name, too. Spirit of the Glen. The that oaky vanilla base thing or whatever is starting to come forward now. That oaky vanilla base thing. If you've ever smelled some of these smoky vanillas from, you know, I don't know, maybe something like oh shit, am I even gonna be able to get to it? If you've ever smelled this, Memoirs of a Trespasser, there's a little bit of this burnt vanilla thing, Madagascar vanilla burnt in here. However, I will tell you right now that this scent has nothing on this DS and Durga. I would trade this Imaginary Authors Memoirs of a Trespasser for the DS and Durga Spirit of the Glen in a heartbeat right now. DS and Durga Rose Broken Spear has a hot iron note. How and why? You know the craziest hot iron note I've ever smelled, Daniel? It's it is this. No, it's not that. It's this. Bapteme de Fath. This is the craziest hot iron note I've ever smelled. It is burning metal. It's burning metal. This is literally burning metal, orange peel, and fucking gingerbread cookies. Like it's like Christopher Sheldrake was thrown into a padded room and told, you're not going to leave until you make the craziest fragrance you can think of. And so he gave us like an iron, you know, like you know, when the metal on your iron gets really hot and it creates that you know, hot metal smell, but then it turns to like burning metal, like you're at an ArcelorMittal, like burning metal factory, like steel factory. That's the smell in Bapteme de Fath. Hey, Pat. Welcome, man. Scent of the night. Dior Homme Intense. Oh, I love it. Sometimes I just crave for Dior Homme. Why do you keep them apart? Just logistics. I don't have enough space. I'm out of space. Yeah, I'm out of space. And I figure if there's like a catastrophe, like what if a tornado destroys the top half of this house? I'll still have the other part of the collection to wear. I was comparing the Imaginary Authors with this DS and Durga. It's called Spirit of the Glen. Spirit of the Glen. Apparently, it's like a take on Glenfiddich or Glenlivet. Sorry, Glenlivet. It's very, very good. Instantly, I would say one of the best liqueur fragrances I've smelled. It's amazing. This is very good. Shockingly good. Can't believe it's discontinued. I can't believe they discontinued this. I really like it though. The note listing sounds outrageous. Scotch whiskey and pear and grass and pineapple weed and limousine oak and hay, barley malt. There's a little bit of pure malt in here. There's a little bit of, you know, there's a little bit of all of the liqueur scents you've smelled before. You know, there's a little bit of something like this. There's a little bit of Idole de Lubin in here in Spirit of the Glen. But Spirit of the Glen is just It smells so high class, high quality. Wow. Now that the wood notes are really starting to pop through, it is fantastic. I was just using this as like a comparison for maybe that kind of burnt vanilla vibe that's coming through. And Rachel said it's pretty common when oak chars, it gives off a vanilla-like smell. So that makes perfect sense. That makes perfect sense. Interestingly enough, Memoirs of a Trespasser also has oak barrels, but my guess is that they didn't get permission from Glen to use the actual sediments of. They didn't get the permission from Glen to use the actual sediments, you know, of the whiskey production. So apparently DS and Durga were actually able to go to the Glen factory and use the accords taken directly from the factory. How cool is that? I think it's awesome. I'm loving this. This was and I love the woodiness that's coming through. That sweeter vanilla is starting to kind of become overtaken by this general like woodiness, you know? But the liquor is always there. It's always front and center. It's beautiful. Really beautiful. Hey, Rick. What's up, brother? Happy Valentine's Day indeed. Yes. Morning, Scott. The day after Valentine's Day for you. We still have half an hour left. Still got half an hour left. So all in all, I would say, I don't know if there is one, man. I don't think I've smelled a liqueur fragrance this well done. Even I think this might even be better than Roja's Création Parfum that I have. You know, I mean, some of my favorite liqueur fragrances are something like Amouage's Overture Man, but that's cognac. See, the thing is whiskey. I mean, tobacco oud has a little bit of a whiskey note in it, but I don't think it's as well done as this. This is going to be a tough one to crack. I might have to try to hunt a bottle down, honestly. I don't know what they go for, though. I don't know if people know what they have. But I'm digging this. This is a winner. So we got 1 out of 3, which is not a bad ratio. But it is sad that coriander and Italian citrus is still in the. I've never smelled Baronda, Woozy. Baronda skipped my radar. Yeah, Baronda skipped my radar. But yeah, I mean, I could wear this and be happy. I could wear Roja's Création, but this smells. The spirit of the Glen smells very unique, even though, you know, this type of fragrance has been done before. It smells extremely high quality, and it has a uniqueness to it. And it seems to be transitioning too, even while it's been on my skin for the last half hour, it's transitioning. You know, initially I got more of that fruity undertone. Now I'm starting to get a lot more of the woodiness. Like I'm really liking what it's doing. I'll be interested to see if it can keep up this quality deep into the dry down or if it continues to change and fall apart. Sandy Ravage, welcome, my friend. Thanks for being here. Good evening. Good evening indeed. So let's take a vote. Tomorrow, we're either going to do one of a couple things. All right. Number one, we're going to tackle these damn Xerjoff these jerk off samples. So we've got a bunch of them, like a whole bunch of them. Mameluke, Italica, Fars, Malaysia. Luxor, I mean, just a crap ton of them. So we can knock out 6 at a time. We can knock out 6 tomorrow. Or we can do these Guerlain samples that I haven't done before. So we can do some Iris Torrefi, some Bois d'Harmonie, some Cuir Beluga, and I've got a couple weird, hard to find Guerlains that someone sent me recently. Some of the really expensive ones that were like limited edition B bottle stuff. So yes, we can do some Xerjoffs or some. Christoph says Xerjoff it is. Can't miss that. You think that's going to be funny, huh? I bet you the Guerlains will be fun too, though. I mean, we'll get to all of it eventually. If they sue me for that, I would almost fight that. I think I would have to fight that case. You guys will be my witnesses. They do both sound good. They don't go away. They do not go away. Xerjoff never goes away. Probably be in the office tomorrow. Putting your vintage Mitsuko in the mail tomorrow. Thank you, Rachel. I can't wait. I've never smelled a Mitsuko X-ray before. I might faint. I might need someone here to catch me. Ladin says, do the Xerjoffs. That is not what you want to hear on Valentine's Day, boys and girls. Get the jerk off over with. And you thought Bodicea was bad. Wait until you get Italica. You're going to die. Well, I have a new strategy, though. So for these brands where I just have yesterday we knocked out 6 Bodicea samples. And so we're going like wrist, elbow, bicep. So we're going 6 of these bad boys. So we're going to get through them pretty quick. They like the Valentine's Day joke. Oh, it's good stuff. On that note, I think I probably should end because mostly because I'm out of material. I'm not going to say what I was going to say, but we knocked out our 3 DS and Durgas. So yes, that's it. We knocked them out and we found a winner. A real winner, like a real winner. If Italica's on the bicep, it goes straight to the nose initially. Is it that bad? Holy shit. I got to look up this Italica. Maybe I'll save that one for later, you know. I'll save the Italica. I'm also going to look up some curse words. Maybe I'll learn how to curse in Romanian or something. Yes, it's that bad. This will be fun. I'm enjoying discovering, you know, like, look at this. An hour and 38 minutes in, and we found a true winner together. This is amazing. Oh, I can't believe they discontinued it. What was going through their head? I wonder if they couldn't get the materials anymore. Well, it's good stuff. Hope everyone had a, we suffer, so do you. That's right. Hope everyone had a great Valentine's Day. I love doing these with you guys. It's a pleasure. It's an honor getting to know these new brands. This was a winner for me, even though the first 2 were really slow. It was a slow start. Spirit of the Glen just came through in the clutch. So, Eddie, if you're still hanging out back there, thanks for sharing these, brother. And hopefully catch you guys tomorrow. Cheers. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. Bye-bye.